Charlie stood in the doorway of the bedroom, staring silently at nothing in particular. The bed was neatly made, and everything was in order, just the way she liked it. He had even dusted and then waxed the dresser, which was filled with all her gadgets. That's what he called her perfume bottles, jewelry box, that blue jar of facial cream and the makeup wipes. It had taken some time to lift each item and to wipe them off, but he revered it because each item he touched made him feel closer to her. "How long have you been watching me?" she had asked, smiling at him as they lay in bed, innately knowing that indeed he had been watching her, sleeping for nearly an hour. He always stayed quiet, never tracing the delicate crease of her closed eyes or leaning forward to smell her hair. Sometimes just setting eyes on Lori was everything he wanted and needed. They didn't even have to talk or make love to fill him with happiness. Charlie turned away from the bedroom with closed eyes. He hadn't slept there for a week. It was just too filled with her presence and everything good that had been their relationship. He went downstairs. The house was too quiet, just as it had been before there was a Lori. She had been the light and the music, not only in this house, but in him as well. As Charlie opened the fridge for the pack of cold cuts, his mind slipped back to what life had been like back when he had first trained her at the coffee shop. She was so pretty and easy to get along with, unlike the other girls that wouldn't give him the time of day, calling him Oddball Charlie and demanding that he take care of their orders when he already had his own. Those bitches couldn't wait for an opportunity to poison Lori against him, but he showed her what he was truly about before they could whisper their hateful ideas to her, and his patience and tenacity worked. Lori had seen him for what he truly was and had given him that small opportunity. That small opportunity was all it had taken. Charlie grimly tossed 2 slices of the cold cuts into the iron skillet and watched as it sizzled. She wouldn't eat this, thought fried cold cut sandwiches were too podunk, but she eventually changed her mind. Who could resist the smell of frying meat? Not Lori. She would watch him eating his sandwich and her pretty brown eyes would take on a hungry look. For loving or for a bite of his sandwich? He readily gave her both. Charlie absently retrieved the bread from the bread box. The kitchen was a mess. He hadn't needed to clean it. Dishes were piled in his sink, and the trash was so full that he hadn't bothered to use it in days. He had to pull himself together. Lori had been gone for over a week. It would take time, but he would get over it. He had to. He was just happy that he wouldn't have to see her cheating ass at work. He shook that thought out of his head. Imagining her with another man set his mind ablaze. Why, Lori? Why? He had screamed at her. Why would you destroy what we have? She had been so flippant when she'd called him crazy. Charlie tossed the nearly burnt slices of meat onto a piece of bread before slapping the last slice of bread on top of it. He didn't bother with a plate because they were probably all dirty. He just opened the fridge for a beer, which he opened without even bothering to look at the hook that hung on the wall. He went outside to sit on the front porch and to watch the storm roll in. So many people loved the sound of rainfall. Not him. Charlie hated it and watched the rain with trepidation. It would cause everything to happen so much faster, and he just needed more time. More time to come to terms with Lori leaving. More time to prepare his parents for the shit show. The sheriff spotted him and took it upon himself to chit-chat. "Hey, Charlie." He took off his sheriff's hat and shook off the rain, gratefully not in Charlie's direction. Charlie took a bite of his sandwich without responding. "I sure would like to send my men home. It's miserable work out there." Charlie shrugged and chewed. He could see the dogs in the distance, pulling at their leashes as they sniffed the muddy ground. He took a swig of beer and belched. "Everybody says that you were the last person seen with Lori Road." Charlie sighed. "You already dragged me down to the station to question me twice. You had to let me go because I ain't done nothing. And y'all just wasting your time out there. So that's your fault." The sheriff nodded in a friendly way. "Yes, you're not under arrest and we appreciate you letting us search inside the house. I also realize that the warrant to search your grounds is an inconvenience. But once we rule you out, we can place our focus elsewhere. I'm sure you're just as interested in locating Lori Road as everyone else is. It's just that you say you offered Lori a ride home after work. And I also said that she didn't accept my offer, and I drove off. I have no idea what happened after that." "Well, Charlie, The thing is that your co-workers say that she was afraid of you. There were reports that you talked to her as if she was your girlfriend. Charlie took another bite of his sandwich. Shut up, he thought. You don't know what you're talking about. Charlie's head began to ache. Lori had loved him. She began to grow distant, and that's how he knew that she'd met someone else. Then she began acting like all the rest, the others at the coffee shop. She was acting like a bitch, and he was certain that she'd met someone else. Of course, he had fought for their love. He had to if she wouldn't. Hadn't he bought her all the gadgets? The best-smelling perfume and everything a woman could need and want? The bedroom had been their magic place, but sometimes it had been a nightmare place. The sheriff continued to speak, and Charlie tried to ignore the sound of his voice. The coffee shop had to let you go because you scared all the girls, Charlie. Everyone said that you fixated on them. Charlie, you can end this now. Tell me why your bedroom is the only room in this entire house that's cleaned. Cleaned so well that the smell of bleach fills the entire house? Charlie shook his head. I ain't done nothing. He peered out into the yard and at how the rain splattered to the ground, causing puddles to form. Tomorrow, he predicted. That is when the dogs would begin to smell her.
When the dogs find her, got some time to wait for tomorrow.